Welcome back, everybody. It's Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Brand new month. Today is National Taco Day and National Raccoon Day. Normally, I'm all for combining celebrations so that we're not spending too much time having fun. Either way, enjoy that taco. Today, we have a vote for a state house seat, a VP debate with an Alabama voice in the spin room, our National Guard helping out in North Carolina, and praise for our business climate. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Well, it's sad when it happens, but every so often, a local election needs to be held to fill a vacant legislative seat because a lawmaker has moved from the state house to the big house. That's happening today in parts of Birmingham, where State Representative John Rogers left his Alabama District 52 seat after pleading guilty to charges in a kickback scheme, reports AL.com's Joseph D. Bryant. This election may have snuck up on some folks, and not just because it's ball season and a very loud presidential campaign season. A Republican candidate entered this race pretty late in the game after the primaries. Meanwhile, Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin aide Kelvin Datcher won the Democratic primary in a runoff. He has experience as a staffer for local officials and said he's a supporter of public education, greater affordable housing and community development, and expanding access to health care. He'll be facing Republican Erskine Brown Jr., a retiree working as a caregiver, who said he wants to increase benefits for seniors and add support for health care and education. Now, Brown's dad, Erskine Brown Sr., was a Democratic political operative and a member of the BJCC Authority Board. Earlier this year, there was a brief time when speculative lists of potential Donald Trump running mates were including U.S. Senator Katie Britt of Enterprise. She was even called on to deliver the GOP response to President Biden's State of the Union address. Well, the running mate buzz died out after that, and Trump ultimately selected Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. But when Vance meets Democratic counterpart Minnesota Governor Tim Walz at tonight's debate, Britt will be in the spin room to give her take on Vance's performance, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. Now, if you're not familiar with the purpose of surrogates in the spin room, here are some things you won't hear. I was hoping my guy would have a little more energy tonight. You're not going to hear that. You're also not going to hear, wow, our opponent is a lot sharper than I've been giving him credit for. And you definitely won't hear anyone say, well, at least they weren't as bad as the presidential candidates. No, Britt will join Republican congressional colleagues and Trump surrogates to make the case that Vance got the best of Walz tonight. In addition to this role in the State of the Union reaction, she also had a speaking spot at the Republican National Convention in July in Milwaukee. The Alabama National Guard has deployed search and rescue units to North Carolina as the state continues to struggle with the crisis caused by flooding in the wake of Hurricane Helene, reports AL.com's Mike Kaysen. Flood damage, people searches, food and water distribution, and communication all remain big problems in the western part of the Tar Heel state. Governor Kay Ivey's office said Alabama's Fatality Search and Recovery Team includes 11 airmen, a chaplain, and a chaplain's assistant. Well over 100 fatalities have been recorded across 6 states, and the Associated Press reported that the White House estimated up to 600 people were still unaccounted for as of yesterday afternoon. Some places and people are so tough to get to in western North Carolina. The AP also reported that one man was using his mules to deliver supplies. A ranking of states from the national publication Area Development puts Alabama at number 8 in the nation in doing business, reports AL.com's William Thornton. 6 southern states placed in the top 10. Georgia was the top state overall in the rankings. Mississippi was 15th. I'll highlight some of the subcategories that helped Alabama place so high. Alabama placed 3rd in workforce training programs. The Alabama Industrial Development Training Program was cited. It was third in the overall cost of doing business, and third also in favorable regulatory environment. And the state placed fifth in business incentives programs. Our state also scored well in the availability and cost of energy, site readiness programs, and access to qualified labor. It feels good to know we're qualified, don't it? Hey, we're going to be back here again tomorrow. Until then, come on by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the World Wide Web at al.com.
There's so much to love about being a fan of the Alabama Crimson Tide. The championships, the traditions, and beating the absolute out of everyone. I'm Ben Flanagan from AL.com, the host of Beat Everyone, a new podcast focused on the people, stories, and conversations that Alabama fans care about.
If you didn't go to Alabama, where would you have gone?
Probably wouldn't have gone to school.
Each week, we'll be joined by former players, experts, and beat writers to discuss the past, present, and future of Alabama football. Beat Everyone is also the new home of Alabama radio legend Eli Gold.
Touchdown, Alabama! And the Crimson Tide has once again ascended to the top of the college football mountain.
Each week, Eli will join us to share fascinating and never-before-told stories from his more than 3-decade career as the voice of the Crimson Tide. Subscribe now to Beat Everyone on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.